Good morning. Look, y'all, repping that OTB, baby, all day, every day. Y'all know why I'm so happy. Y'all, it's a couple of reasons why I'm happy this morning. Uh, One is I got my raise. I love getting my sun rays in the morning. Um, I don't know what it is about sun rays, man, especially in this heat, man. It's probably 95 degrees already, and it's just 10 a.m., but I absolutely love it. Another reason why I'm extremely happy is I met this guy about 6 years ago, maybe 6, 7 years ago. We met. Uh, the first thing I noticed about him, y'all, was really crazy because I think it was bigger then. Uh, his beard was gigantic, like it was crazy big. He don't slept and woke up a couple of days since then, so he might have had to trim it down, go smaller as he got bigger in stature. Uh, Man, this dude is a phenomenal man. He's a husband, a father, a teacher, a mentor, a coach, and I think he's just a real solid guy, man. That's just how we've been rocking since day one. Um, he accepted me for who I was. My verbiage and my vernacular all the time may not, it may not be suitable or appealing to you, but I'm never gonna lie on you. I'm never gonna lie on your kids, because the kids is the reason why I do what I do. I absolutely love them, and I absolutely love my coaches. And this coach here got a real special place in my heart. So, hey, y'all, clap it up for my guy. Please welcome Brett the Beard. Brett the Beard. I like that. What's up, Coach?
Man, living the dream, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh no, man, not much as I appreciate you, man, for taking the time out, man. You guys are in the process of getting ready for fall camp. While some schools have already started fall camp, but you guys are definitely getting prepared to do some great works this year. So anytime a coach takes the time out of the morning, especially today is the 27th, um, 13 days away from school starting.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
so that
first off, man, I appreciate everything you do. I mean, anybody that's willing to take their time to sell our kids, our football programs, our state, our high school football. I mean, hell, I'll give you any time you need.
hey man, I had again, man, the love at the coaches convention last week was, man, just phenomenal. I real life cried because it's not the coaches that you know and the coaches that you know already you have a relationship with that feel some type of way. For me, it's the ones that I didn't know and that I didn't know followed me that were coming up to me saying, man, I just love what you do, man. Thank you. And I know it's a lot of stuff that are out of y'all hands, out of y'all control, but that's just the way the rubber ball bounces sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you, I fall. I'm not from here, so last about 20 years in the state, and I've fallen in love. Really, like with I guess the individual rivalries I have with coaches, and just getting to know these. We got some great men that are leading our kids and our football programs and really all athletic programs. I've met some of the most amazing people that I never knew I would have in my life. Not being from here 20 years ago, and I love every second of the rivalries I have and the friends I've made and the people I've gotten to know, and really just some amazing people in this state.
And no, I want to say this. I want to say this, and it's really no disrespect to anyone, because I've said this 100 times. I will work with anyone for the edification of our kids.
Yep.
Uh, but when I first started, a lot of coaches didn't trust me because they didn't trust the media.
Yeah.
And I've done my level best to try to show that every media guy isn't the bad guy, isn't trying to show you or your kids in a bad, demeaning light.
Yeah.
And so because of that, coaches, uh, I'm going to give a couple examples. Kenny Sykes, who is a basketball guy at Shreveport, and Antonio Broadway, who is a basketball coach out of he's at the Standard. They just call me to say hi, man. Like at least 3-4 times a week. They don't want nothing. They don't want nothing. Most time is how you doing, because they know last couple of years I had been going through a lot and dealing with a lot, and so they just, man, you okay, bro? When I see you, I'm taking you out to lunch. I don't know no other media that coaches are doing that with.
Yeah, look, and we've got y'all do a hell of a job, man. Look, I've always had the philosophy, I guess, from playing and really just getting to know media and learning to talk to the media.
Yes.
You know, granted, I appreciate you not making me look like the bad guy, but I've always found that when I'm completely honest and I have nothing to hide,
right,
you can write about me that's going to be wrong. You might write about an opinion of me, or you might not like me, or you might have come across me on a bad day myself. Hell, you never know. But I'm always going to be honest, and I'm always going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not going to tell you what I think you need to hear. I think honesty from both sides is why I've got such a great relationship with anybody in the media. That really, honestly, I'm just trying to sell. I'm not trying to sell myself. I'm trying to sell my brand and my program and my kids, and my coaches, because I want all my coaches to have the opportunity to go be a head coach one day if that's what they want.
Right.
So I mean,
right.
I have nothing to hide. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. It's a lot easier to deal with the media because they're people too. They gotta do their job, and if I can do anything that makes their job better and easier, I work.
Right. Tell the viewers a little bit about Brett Beard.
All right. I was born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama, outside of Vestavia, or in Vestavia Hills.
Give me a little left
south of Birmingham. Ball coach, and you still got me?
Yeah. I can hear you. You just at a still. There you go.
Yeah. I played for arguably the greatest high school football and baseball coach in the state of Alabama, and Buddy Anderson football, Sammy Dunn in baseball. The way they impacted my life, on top of my old man, I wanted to be a coach and knew I was going to be a coach. And played at Vanderbilt University because I always knew there was life after football.
Right.
Wanted to get educated, wanted to go to Vandy because my dad was mom from Nashville, and that was a big deal for them. Had family in Nashville. Loved it. Graduated from there in 4 years. Had a successful career there. Woody Woodenhofer recruited me. Got hired by Hal Mummy at Southeastern in 2003 to bring football back. And, that's really how I ended up here. When I pulled into the state, I literally remember thinking, bienvenue in Louisiana. What the hell does that mean? And I said, it doesn't matter. I'm out of here in 4 or 5 months. I'm back in Birmingham or Nashville. And, I realized when I got to Hammond, I fell in love with Hammond. I fell in love with the people, the food, everything you want in Louisiana is unbelievable. And like I said, I thought I'd be gone, and here I am 20 years later.
how you and see, I didn't even know that. I didn't know you started off here in the state as a college coach.
Yep.
How'd you know that high school football is where you were supposed to go?
Well, I tell you, I got a signed free agent with the Colts after I played Southeastern, and just a very short stint, just a minute. Was beat up, kind of burnt out. Had the opportunity to say I made it. Like I said, I always wanted to coach, and at the timing of that, I coached high school football for Shane Smith in year 1 at Franklinton High, and then I'm thinking, I want to be a college football coach. I want to get back into the big leagues. And I went to Washington University for a year, and then had the opportunity to go to Grambling State for almost 2 years as the D-line coach and special teams coordinator. And it was there that I realized the business side of college athletics and, the recruiting and all that. And, and it was the time of my life where I was going to do it. I was young, but knew I wanted a family, knew I wanted to be I kind of wanted to be a hometown school. I wanted to build what I was a part of, what I grew up in Vestavia Hills. And from that point, I realized, man, I'm gonna go back to high school football, and I'm gonna climb the ranks in Louisiana. I want to ultimately be a head coach at one of the biggest schools in the state in Louisiana, and that was my goal that I went after. once I decided that high school football is where I want to be.
Right, right. When you look at where you started from your words in Franklinton and the journey to the rites of passage of showing not just the people in maybe in Franklinton or in Livingston where you had stints at two different schools now, but the people that are your peers that you earn the respect. Coaching is a earned respect livelihood. When you look at that, how do you think that you garner the respect that you have?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing is you treat people the right way. Look, I'm no angel. I've made my fair share of mistakes along the way. Don't get me wrong. Like anybody, I've got a history. I've got a past where, I've made mistakes. I've made choices that I've had to learn from and grow up from. And thank God every day for giving me the opportunity to continue to put good people in my life to make me better. Surround yourself with good people.
Right.
Learn tough lessons. I mean, look, everybody's made mistakes. I mean, that's life. There's only been one person walk the face of the earth that is perfect, and it's not me, and it's not anybody else.
Definitely not me.
No.
Definitely not me, bro.
Look, you got to learn from it. And even along the way, I would like to think, I think people have a perception of me being something different than I am. I don't know if it's my look, or I don't know if you only see me on Friday night when I'm intense and I'm competitive and I coach a lot like I played. But I'd like to think a lot of people I appreciate everybody I've had to deal with at every stop I've made along the way. And I hope they know that I truly care about them. Some I love, some I don't know that well, but without them, my journey stalls. And I can't tell you the mistakes I've made, the lessons I've learned, the good things I've done. I can't be more thankful for everybody that's continued to stick with me and give me the opportunity to grow what it is I've sought after. And that's to be the head coach at one of the biggest schools in the state in Denham Springs.
Well, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit because you achieved that accomplishment.
Yeah.
But can we talk about something real quick?
Yeah.
You said that you had a coach in football, high school football, that impacted your life greatly. A coach in high school baseball that impacted your life greatly. But you also said someone else that impacted your life greatly athletically, which was your father.
Yeah.
Him being a part of your everyday life and giving you little tidbits of golden nuggets.
Oh, yeah.
Every day of how to be better, how to work hard, how to stay motivated, how to be determined to meet your goals and aspirations. How that make you feel as a young guy, as a young kid, especially as a kid? Because today it's like the stretch from where parents can just verbally be supportive or be there and hoorah on their children. It's like that aspect of the journey is being removed. Like, oh, if you cheer for your child, you're coaching and all this crap.
Look, I'm going to tell you, my old man's an old Army boy, man. He was a tough SOB, and he was tough on me. He was a big baseball guy. So, look, I was a baseball player my whole life. I never really played football until I was in the 7th grade. I was always too big to play in our league. It wasn't on an age basis.
Right.
I grew up a baseball player, and my old man was as tough as anybody. I told somebody the other day, like inside our little spice cabinet, you could open up and he'd keep up with my stats. He wouldn't keep up with any home runs or things I hit, but he'd keep up with like my average and how many times I struck out. And so he was always on me about little things, and I appreciate it. And I think it got to the point he was so tough at times that I said, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna play football. He don't know a damn thing about football, so I'm gonna play that. And ultimately it was to sought after to make him proud. I love him. He and I are best friends now, and that was one tough dude to be raised by, and I'm so thankful today because of it. And I love my old man. Every day I want to make him proud, and I love when he's down to watch me coach and gets to watch this stuff. And he's 70. He's almost 76 years old. I think he's tougher today than he was when he was 40. So he's a dude. And then a lot of things growing up. Look, I didn't do a lot of things, not so much because I didn't want to, because I was scared to death. I mean, hell, he was tough. I mean, we had discipline and structure in my household, and everything that I try to teach, man. Once again, though, look, when I got out, I branched out. I had a good time and learned a lot of tough lessons. I always found my way back to the life lessons that he gave me. And then the one, like I tell the kids to this day, and I think I always believe this because I know he was serious, and I know he would to this day whip my butt if I was anything different. But he always said, I don't care what you do. I don't care where you go, but whatever you do and wherever you go, you better be damn good at it. If you're going to be a ditch digger, you better be the best damn ditch digger there is.
Right.
And there's no excuses, and there's no exception of anything less than that. And that's kind of how I've always embraced everything, even along the way of making mistakes and learning tough lessons, even doing things right. I'm always going to look at myself in the mirror and want to grow because I want to continue to figure out a way to be the best, because I know that's his expectations for me and a standard that I've got to reach.
Right. It's crazy. You said a little bit ago that you the same energy you gave as a player is the same energy you give as a coach.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because that's the same love, energy, and passion that the way I play is the way I do media. Like I wasn't the fastest guy. I wasn't definitely, when you play with Shad Green, LSU, Billy Jones, Glenn Ellis, Toby Price, like them dudes were studs in Louisiana high school football in the late 80s, 90s. Like I ain't lifting. And when I see Glenn Ellis, who coaches at St. Frederick's, man, this dude is like, he still lifts every single day. And so I knew that I wasn't disciplined enough to do that. But you couldn't control my heart. You couldn't control my willingness to want just to compete. When you look at life from a competitive standpoint as a coach, what's the words that you give your kids?
I mean, you got to embrace the suck. I mean, because it's not going to be easy, and there's nothing in life that's going to be given to you. And I think the one thing that I like to say to kids that I want them to always remember, and the one thing I love about team sport, you're never going to get to where you want to get, or you're never going to be as successful as you can be without somebody. That could be one person, that could be hundreds of people, that could be teammates, that could be a coach, that could be a high school friend that circles back around and becomes your friend later in life. But you can't do life alone.
No.
And that's kind of the one big thing that I try to teach these kids. Like, we're all in this together. And when you talk about family and brotherhood and everything else, I think if you talk to any kids that played for me, they will say, as tough as I was, that they knew I loved them.
Right.
And because you can't do it. You can't do it alone.
When from a principle of teaching not only competitiveness, but like you said, structure, discipline, teammate, teammates being real teammates. And what I mean by when I say that is, hey, bro, Coach Beard is expecting us to be here at 10:45, period, to be here to get our stuff together. And when it's time for us to walk out on the field at 11:05, he's not looking for us to be coming out the tunnel. He's looking for us to be here and be ready. That's called accountability. That structure, have you been able to maintain it? You did it at Live Oak. Definitely doing it here now, because from your own words, year one sucked at Denham.
Yeah. I mean, the standard is the standard.
Right.
I don't deviate from the standard. If anything, I tell people, you don't want to be one of two people in my program. You don't want to be the worst player, and you don't want to be the best player, because you get your butt chewed more than anybody else, because everybody else falls in line between. No, I mean, look, again, I find it easy to live this standard because I do live it. They know I'm going to be one of the first people on this campus every night or every morning, and I'm going to be one of the last people to leave the campus every night. So I'm going to live it. I'm going to set my expectations. I don't waver from it. I don't care who you are. If you're going to be a couple minutes late, communication is critical. We've had to get over a hump where they've had to learn, like, at 6:25, we start at 6:30 a.m. So at 6:25, you text me you're going to be late because you don't have a ride. All you're telling me is you're already late.
Right.
But if you get 5:45 because you're up and trying to get here,
right,
find a ride, well, then you know what? I can work with that.
Right.
You're up. I know you're up. I know you're ready to go to work. You just can't get here. So a big thing with communication. Um, communication it's a two-way road. I mean, just because I'm the head coach and I'm the adult doesn't mean that I can go one way and my kids go the other.
Right.
The expectation be what I.
When you we know the best coaches are always learning, and again, we know that from great old Saint Nick, because he's always talking about
Yeah.
Not only learning from other coaches, but learning from his kids, and just being a student of coaching.
Yeah.
When Brett Beard goes into a position of, because we don't know everything, in nothing we do in life do we know every single nuance. But when Brett Beard is in a situation, because football is about situations, down, whether it be a down and distance or just making the right read as a coordinator, who are some of the guys that you followed, watched, looked at to help you become a better X's and O's guy and a better broad perspective guy?
I can tell you, like the two names I mentioned early on, Bud Anderson, Sammy Dunn, kind of the foundation from the start. To be around Woody Hoffer in college, a guy named Herb Patera, longtime NFL. Dennis Harrison played D-line for the Eagles, was a D-line coach of mine. David Turner, a guy that bounced around the SEC. It's a big-time D-line coach. Those are the easy ones because that's who I was around every day. But, you're always going to find me. I'm going to watch Nick Saban. I'm going to watch Smart. I'm going to watch the guys that are successful today because there's a reason they are. And, I'm going to read different books, the leadership books by John Gordon, Chop Wood, Carry Water by Metcalf. There's some different things that I read. And a lot of times I read to grow myself so I can grow everybody around me. And sometimes I have to go for validation. Am I doing this right? I'm not seeing, my year one here was a tough year. Things I didn't see that I missed, and everything was new. Yeah, I can make excuses. Oh, it was COVID. It was this. It was that. But that's the easy way. Like I wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing something. Butch Wax is a big time name in Denham Springs, old football coach and principal here. He's a man that I spent a lot of time with. That I love picking his brain of the old Denham Springs and trying to bring it back. I'm going to say Drew Nettles is another one that that I used to lean on a lot in this profession that I have a huge respect for. Old Denham guys at Zachary now. He's one of my all-time favorite dudes. I've learned a lot from him. The year of the flood, Denham was coming to Live Oak, and we were sharing the school, so he and I got to spend a lot of time together. I got all the respect in the world for him. Another guy, that along the way you've taken your bumps, you've been hit in the mouth, and he's gotten up, and that's I got a ton of respect and love for him because of that. But I'm always going to look at who's successful, and I want to know why. And I'm going to look sometimes, like why are people not successful? Why are people not being successful? And I'm going to make sure that I'm not going down those roads because, one thing I love about this profession, I tell people all the time, yeah, I look older, I've grayed. I'm still a freaking kid because these freaking kids I'm around every day keep me young and sharp. Yeah. And sometimes I got to speak their language and get on their level. And I love that because it's fun. But like I said, it keeps me young.
I see coaches a lot of times when they change schools, they come in, they've already built the name for themselves, but you go to the new school and kids will challenge you to the very core of your existence of trying to say that, okay, coach, we know you win, but we're going to do this our way.
Yeah.
And I think, and again, we can try to figure out what someone is saying, but it's just easier to ask the question. Yeah. When you get to your first year at Denham, coming from Live Oak, where you had some success, but like you said, you wanted to get to a bigger school where you could compete against the best competition. You're at Denham every year. You've grown, losing record, first round, second round, third round. Now in year 4, here comes that word again. Competition is thrown right back in the parallels of the game. How do you compete better this year against the best competition across the state? maybe the Mannies, now that Coach Curtis is at Natchitoches Central, the Easterns, the Catholic Baton Rouges, the East Ascensions who's in district. So that game is coming. The Dutchtown, that game is coming. That's in district. The Saint Amont's and Coach Oliver, that game is coming, is in district. But you like to compete as a coach. What's the next building block for competition?
Well, I think my favorite part of competition is, sometimes you get wrapped up in, like I said, some of these rivalries between coaches and, having Hutch at Live Oak and Mahaffey at Walker. The best thing about our football that we play is Livingston Parish football has gotten a lot better, and it's been done because we've got great men doing a great job. Everybody, ain't no doubt. Everybody's expectation is you're going to beat Live Oak every year. You're going to beat Walker every year. But, that's not always realistic. At the end of the day, here's kind of a big theme that's going to be for us this year is, you can't shy away from competition. But on the flip side, don't you want everybody's best? I want Hutch and Live Oak to be their best when they play us. I want Chad and Walker to be their best. I want Darnell and EA to be their best when they play us. And in return, I want to give that to them. I want to freaking do competition the right way. And I want to be prepared at a high level to play at a high level, just as I want my competitor to be that. And the best team is going to win that night. And if you learn to embrace that, to focus on, I got to be the best me, to be the best teammate. I got to take care of me, to take care of the man next to me, and be your best and give your best. Well, then you get everybody to elevate that way around you, and then you get your competition to elevate that way. And then the game of football is played at a whole nother level. It's a lot more exciting. And, it's more fun to beat somebody at their best than catching them at their worst. Like, you don't want kids, we played Liberty last year, and I was so excited to play Liberty because they had the big running back. And, he got hurt, and, hell, I was kind of pissed. I'm like, man, that sucks for the kid. But, hell, I wanted to be on the field with this kid. I tell people all the time, Smoke up at West Feliciana those few years. On the field with him was amazing. Tyree Goldman at Denham Springs is one of the best I've ever been on the field with. A little lightning in a bottle. Tyron Johnson, the receiver at Warren Easton. That dude had 10 catches for over 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns against me. We won, and they were number 12 in the country. But, hell, that's the type of people I want to be on the field with. I would much rather have them on my sideline and coach them instead of coach against them. But, I want people's best, man. Like, I'm a football guy. I'm a football player at heart. I want kids to be successful, and I want to see them play this game at a high level. And I want our kids to win and do it, but I want them to experience what life and competition and football is all about. So ultimately in life, they get better.
I want to ask you this, and all I know is the relationships I build. I try to build from a sincere place, and that's communication.
Yep.
I talk to Coach Lee a lot, and again, part of that is because my kids attend. I got one son that graduated from EA, got a daughter that's going there now. So we built a relationship from two different fronts that, we talk a lot. And, he's not putting me above any other parent at EA. He gives every parent and affords every parent the same opportunity. I just talk a lot. Yeah. And everybody knows that. But he talks a lot about coaching his coaches. And it looks like you understand that standpoint because, again, you don't go from losing season in year one, like losing.
Oh, yeah, losing.
In year one to year two, first round, to year three, second round, third round. When you look at how much you put into coaching your coaches to make sure that the freshman team is growing every year, to make sure that the junior varsity team is growing every year. And that way, when they get to you, the vocabulary and transition of the game and how things are done at the varsity level, that they're being done at the JV level. You seem to have found a key to success to that. Can you give us a little piece of it, a little part of it, please?
Yeah, I mean, look, again, you don't ask the kids to do something you're not willing to do, and that's growth. I mean, if you're going to ask the kid to grow, you got to be able to grow as well. And you got to grow with these kids. And it's fun to start that cycle every 4 years because you start over and then you grow that group. And, it does start with the freshman group. I got an amazing freshman staff. I've been very fortunate to put together a great freshman staff at Live Oak, and again here at Denham, because that is their first step to reality. And I tell them all the time, this is your last easy year of football in the ninth grade, because you always play with your age group. You're playing with D, C, B, A in like Little League or SLIFA.
Right.
Then your 6th, 7th, 8th grade group. Then you play with your 9th grade group. And then from there, you make the jump to you're now playing 18-year-old grown men with mustaches, right, beards, and everything else. And you no longer get the comfort of playing just a kid you're used to playing against or a kid your same age. So there's a huge gap that you have to have good football coaches and good men at the freshman stop to get them prepared to make that leap as a 10th grader. As far as my coaches, I've been very fortunate. I've had a lot of turnover because I guess they find me to be tough at times. I tell them all the time. I mean, hell, if you can handle me 10 days out of the year, 355 is pretty good. Like, I'd like to think, the grass ain't always greener on the other side. But again, that goes to me. I coach like I played. I'm a madman on Friday night because I'm a competitor, and I want these kids to feed off my energy just like I feed off of theirs. But my coaches, I think the biggest way to grow a coach, obviously I'm there to give them anything they need and help them in any way possible. But for a coach to grow, they got to coach. I'm not going to micromanage you. I'm not going to babysit you. I hired you to do a man's job, so do a man's job. And that's kind of how I do it. Like, I've surrounded myself with great dudes that want to learn, that want to coach, that love coming into this coach's office and being around me and the other coaches. And I think when you create that, the big word culture, right, culture just in your locker room with your kids. I mean, it starts with us in the office. And I think our kids see that we love each other. We hang out together. We take trips together. We cook out together. We play golf together. I think those kids see that when you talk brotherhood, it starts in our coach's office. And guys want to be here. I guess they want to be around me. And I appreciate every coach. My seat's warm because if I get fired, hell, there is no teaching spot for me to go to. You guys are good. But the only way to get good at doing a job is do a job. And you teach these young. I've got some guys on staff that have been with me from day one to coach that have become some of the best coaches I've ever been around. And I'm not going to say it's me by any means. It's those dudes that have decided to work and grow and invest in these kids and invest in our programs. And because of it, I'm better and everybody's better.
Hey, Coach, I got to stop you for a second there. I promised you 30 minutes, but man, we're at 32. Ooh, I knew it. Hey, y'all, he'll be back in a minute. Sometimes, hey, turn your computer. Shift it right or left for me, Coach. Appreciate that, bro.
Yep.
Sometimes you guys, I tell coaches, I know coaches are really busy, and I try to stay within a time frame, especially in the morning, because in a couple more weeks we're going to still be doing morning interviews, but coaches are going to have kids switching classes, so I'm trying to prepare myself for that right now.
Yeah,
and I promised Coach 30 minutes, but this has been great.
Oh, man.
And so I'm going to ask Coach to extend us maybe 13 more minutes.
Whatever you need.
No, man. Like, when you're doing this thing, and sometimes the energy is just great, the mood is great, and you're giving us a lot of valuable information, like all of our coaches doing the interviews we do. And I just, you can't rush greatness.
I appreciate that.
You cannot rush greatness, because there's still some stuff that we need to talk about, I think.
Okay.
Building a tradition. Again, you used the word a moment ago, culture, tradition, passion, understanding what level you're at. Yep. I think that we don't talk enough about that as well, because you can't get to be the Warren Eastons, the Zacharies, and Coach Brew, Catholic Baton Rouge. You know what Coach Curtis did at Manny. You don't get to be there unless you go from losing. You don't go from losing to winning. You
Yeah.
go from losing to teaching kids how to win in the
Yeah.
right way before you get to winning. And sometimes that's a hard task because that means that now everybody has to be bought in
Yeah.
to winning. What's been your secret recipe to having these kids here at Denham? Because, like you said, everybody knew that Denham was going to be like they were scheduling Denham for homecoming games
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
Denham was maybe someone's homecoming game. Now nobody's going to be scheduling Denham for homecoming. What's been that recipe for you?
I'm going to tell you now. Look, I will say that this is a tough job, and I'm going to tell you why it's a tough job. You use the word tradition. You look back on Denham Springs, and you look at the Butch Waxes, guys that have come here through here, the Drew Nettles,
Right.
The history of the guys that played here. The you talked about like the booster club, but you want to talk about the old Denham supporters and what they think is Denham Springs and what Denham Springs has to be and what it was in the 80s and the early 90s. This is a tough gig, and there's some great people that I want to make proud being back at Denham. Butch Wax is one of them. So there are some things that are a little different, and I think that first year here, I think I kind of dove in. And I said, all right, like we don't wear the gold helmet anymore. Like I know the gold helmet is as much Denham Springs,
right,
U.S. I get all that, but man, I had never not made the playoffs till I got to Denham Springs. We had a tough year. The program was in a bad spot. They've had some great years, but traditionally it's not in a great spot. Like, you know what? We're going to change. We got to change our luck. So I went with the purple helmet.
right.
You're trying to get kids to buy in today. It's not the same kids. Like we're not at Alabama and Penn State where they're going to wear those traditional helmets and jerseys because of the meaning, the deep meaning.
Right.
We're
Right.
not at like that. And kids today are they like all the mystique of the different helmets, all the different jerseys, all the combinations. I'm not out of control with it, but I'm in tune with what our kids work their butt off for me for. And if they want a black jersey and they earn it because they want to wear a black jersey that says Denham across their chest one Friday night, and that gets the best out of them, well, you know what? You'll see.
Coach B going get it.
Like I don't mind a little change, but it's like I tell people when I speak at the Hall of Fame Bank and at Denham Springs and everything else. The one thing that doesn't change is this hallowed ground, the blood, sweat, and tears that everybody before me at Denham Springs has put into this place and the growth of these new facilities in this school. That will never change. The DS will never change.
Right.
That's what it's about. A combination of a jersey, a different color jersey. You know what? It's Denham Springs, and we're going to play a brand of football for all of you to be proud of. Now, you got to sell that, and then your kids have got to buy into that. And again, you give your kids something to be excited about, and you give them ownership, and you give them. I like to tell them, I'm not going to give you a damn thing. You're going to earn everything you get. So when you earn it, you have a different excitement and a different pride about yourself and about your program, which is one thing we've done and why we've gotten to where we're going. And a quick story going back to year one. We talk about it all the time. That senior class we inherited was actually a pretty good senior class. They had some players. They just wanted to do it their way. And sadly, their way was never successful. So they didn't want to change. I tried telling them, look, you're seniors. I'm a new coach. I'm going to give you every opportunity to buy in. I want you to play. However, if you're still doing it your way and we're losing, well, I'm going to go with a youth movement and I'm going to play some of these young kids. I'm going to get my ass whipped. But I'm only going to flip the script and start doing it to everybody else come later on in their career. Yeah. And I love those kids, even that first year, as tough as it was. But that happened. And because of it, the program took off. The young kids got the experience, and the young kids, the group that just graduated, have left one heck of a foundation, or really because of Denham Springs and the history, the next story of Denham Springs football, only for us to continue to go up.
Right. I'm laughing, man, because I remember the first time that Livingston and Ascension was in the same district together. Like, that was smash. At the time, it was. I think it was a different brand of football too,
Yeah.
but it was super competitive. And then they changed it, put the three Ascension schools in the Red River district, but the cycle has recycled.
Yeah.
And now you guys are back together again. And like you said, when you look at Coach Mahaffey, Coach Hutch, and yourself, guys who have proven to be winners as coaches, and now you don't want your reputation and the image that you built in your brand of football, and then you look at the three Ascension teams and Coach Lee, Coach Mastretta, and Coach O, who's also built a brand for themselves in their name
Yeah.
that coincides with winning. Coach Mastretta, state championship coach.
Yeah.
Coach Oliver, coached at the college level, was super successful. Coach Lee coached at the arena level, was super successful, won championships at the arena level, the winningest playoff coach in East Ascension history in his young 6, 7, 8 years of being there. Now, when you put these 6 head coaches in these 6 schools in the same realm, how much does that mean to you to be able to coach against guys who understands commitment?
I can tell you, if I was in the media, I would love to be able to go to like our head coaches' lunches and meetings that we have, because that is, I'd like to think, you know, with the addition of Hutch at Live Oak, we've got 6 hammers that are head coaches now to grow these programs.
Right.
When this district got brought up, there was a term thrown around that kind of pissed some people off. We were like-minded communities. People wanted to spin it every way possible, whether it was a racial deal, some bullshit, whatever they wanted to say. At the like-minded communities is all 6 of us. The 2 parishes have 6 of some of the biggest schools in the state, and we all work our ass off. We all got a huge respect for each other, but the like-mindedness really came in the community follow. Like if you go to watch a freshman game or a JV game, you go watch a district game, like stands are packed for freshman and JV games.
Right. And I don't look,
you play in our district, the playoffs, that's easy because everything it's been sold out. It's been packed. You've
right.
coached some of the best coaches. I'm not ever going to take away from anybody else. I got all the respect in the world for Brew. I love Brew and love the job he does. I loved what Valdez and Levante did at Scotlandville.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm not going to take anything away from them, and it's not my decision. I'll play in whatever district you put me in. But these 6 schools that go together, we do have they're a lot alike. So the similarities in the communities and the programs, they're a lot alike, and that's what made it like-minded. And because of it, we have huge followings. Every sport is packed. Every sport is a playoff type atmosphere. And you look at these 6 head coaches, man. I'm pulling for Hutch to freaking build Live Oak to be a power again. I am. And one thing that I've had to break at Denham that I want people to understand too is, I think there's a lot of people still in Denham Springs that would rather be 2-8 and beat Walker and Denham. Hell, I would rather be 8-2 and lose to Walker and Live Oak or whatever. I mean, that's some of the things that we're trying to break and change around here. The mentality is, you want to put your best brand out every night to have an opportunity to compete in the purple and gold, and you want everybody else's best, and you want the freaking game played the right way. And what happens.
Man, right. But I think so. I was here. Again, I'm like you. I've lived in the Ascension area for 20 years. I saw EA under Coach Billy Beasley. I saw EA under Coach Bourgeois. I saw EA under Coach Lambert, and Lambert was before Bourgeois. And now I've seen EA under Coach Lee. And you're right. There are a lot of people that don't care if they win nothing but Dusttown and St. Amant, or St. Amant and EA, or EA and Dusttown, or Live Oak. But when you care about the whole product,
Yeah.
Isn't that better than the park? It hasn't the whole always meant more than the park?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Look, when you come watch Denham Springs football, I want you to leave there entertained and excited about where these kids are and the way these kids conduct themselves. And win or lose, we're going to play extremely hard and we're going to make people proud. And that's a big statement I try to make in every program that I've had a stop at. It's been the same way. We changed things at Woodlawn when we got to Woodlawn. We changed things at Live Oak when we got to Live Oak. And it's been some of my greatest days the last 11 years in this area between Woodlawn, Live Oak, and Denham. But I'm excited to see where we can continue to grow Denham and get to where it's never been.
Right. I want to say this because I just say what I'm unfiltered like you, coach. I try to tame my tongue.
Me too.
And it doesn't work very often, but I think that when you look at, because we know football are the money makers in most schools across the state. And that's how you get a lot of the stuff that you get in high school athletics is through successful football programs. And when you look at you making the switch to Denham, uh, Live Oak, Live Oak could have cried. They could have complained. They could have went in a lot of different directions, but they waited and were patient. And they said, okay, we got the opportunity to get Coach Hutch. We're bringing Coach Hutch in. Mr. St. Pierre over there at Walker. The minute Coach Mahaffey became available, Walker did not hesitate to get better.
Yeah.
And that's not no disrespect to Coach Richard because I think he did a great job. Mm-hmm. But, Coach Mahaffey was at U High, state championship, runner-up. Like, that's synonymous with winning. And the same thing with, Coach Mastretta at Dutchtown, 6'8". Before Coach I love him. He's an EA play-by-play guy now. I love him. He's a great coach. Did a lot of really good things. Still volunteers. A lot of people don't know this. He still volunteers his time to coach football and track at the middle school.
Yeah.
And has a family still and goes around and all these kids in the parish that he coached against, he still supports them.
Yeah.
And then, again, Coach Beasley to Coach Lambert to Coach Bourgeois and now to Coach Lee, you guys are wanting to win. Like the competition aspect of it, nobody is you're not calling Coach Lee or Coach Mastretta and saying, Coach, my quarterback is not feeling his best this week, man. I'm gonna play my second string guys a lot. Can you do the same? No, you're saying we're gonna be better. Like, we got this issue, but we're gonna be better. I love this Ascension Livingston district. It was like, I love the Scotlandville Zachary Central Dutchtown Live Oak Walker district as well, though.
Yeah.
Man, it's nothing better. It's nothing better than you can add one more thing to your resume. You coach like you played. You interview like you played.
I try to watch my tongue as much as possible.
Man, I don't be caring nothing about that. I don't care what you say because I want you to be you. I want you to come on here and be comfortable enough to where you can say, man, the interviewer might drop a F-bomb or might say ass or shit. And I might. I try not to because I'm the only person that has to follow the rules.
Yeah.
When you come on here, I want you to be at home because when I come to Denham or when I come to Live Oak, you make me comfortable at home. When I go to EA, Wiseman, Woodlawn, Shreve, um, Coach Bird at JFK at the coaching convention said, man, when I was at Landry, he said, you were there all the time. I said, he said, now that I'm at Kennedy, you hadn't been there. I said, Coach, I ain't been there shit. Not because I don't want to be there. I said, I was a little scared of the area and, didn't want to go. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid to say that. I ain't ashamed to say that.
Yeah.
But guess what I told him? I made him a promise. I said, I'm going to be there. Because Coach Bird and Landry supported off the bench sports like no other. Yeah. Just like Coach Beard at Live Oak, Denham. Like, we don't talk every day, but when we do, it's like our relationship when we first met. And that's what I love about the beard.
Oh, look.
Bro, you got to let it grow back out a little bit more, bro.
It's coming. It's getting to be football season. It's time to let it come out.
Yeah, you got to let it come out a little more, man. And look. If you want, I'll help you out. You want me to help you out?
Help me out.
I'm going to go get you some of that Black Aggressions beard dye for men.
I like the salt and pepper. It makes me realize how hard I've worked. Now, my wife likes it when I shave my goatee or whatever because she says it makes me look younger. But I like the salt and pepper look. I mean, I'm aged. Hell, I mean, I'm like a fine wine. I just keep getting better and better.
I ain't gonna even tell you that I got salt and pepper too. But the world would never know it because the minute I see a gray strand come out, the razor comes out.
Right. I honestly don't even care. If you don't like it, oh well. I mean, look, I'm one of those, like I said, like I love doing this to be able to sell our kids and our program. And I also like doing this for people to kind of get to kind of get to know me a little bit because, people are so judgmental when you see me sideline on Friday and all I'm doing is fired up and getting after it. And, they automatically think I'm always chewing the kids' asses when I'm not. I mean, I'm talking to the kids. I love the kids. But this gives you a chance to kind of see, the realness of a man that coaches kids in this state and just wants the best for everybody. Their family included. I tell them in the parent meeting, I'm just an extension of the family. I'm here to support you. I'm here to teach. I'm here to grow your young men like you as parents. I'm here for you. Not everybody gets to see the inside of that, and for every opportunity I get to talk to people like you that do the things the right way and do it for the right reasons. And talk about the coaches I'm around, talk about, I didn't get a chance, Darnell and I love Darnell. He and I are really close friends. I got all the respect in the world for Darnell and what he does. I've just been very fortunate to be in this state and come across some amazing people and just get to know a lot of amazing people. And it makes it easy to, live my life every day and come to work every day, even though I don't consider it work. And, people like you that can sell our program and our kids, that's what it's all about.
Man, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to say this, Coach Lee. I want my 3X, Coach Lee. I want my 3X, man.
He better give you that 3X.
I want my 3X from you too. You playing?
I'm easy. I got you. I don't know. Darnell might not come through, but I got you.
No, hey, bro, you don't know how much Darnell don't came through for me, bro. Like, say at one point, look,
hell no.
Coach Beard, at one point I had so much EA gear I used to walk around town, and the people in Ascension would be like, "Man, when you start coaching at EA?" I said, "Don't worry, get out of my business."
I just assumed
about why I got on nice EA coaches gear.
You were a better looking version of Darnell, is what I assumed.
Look, that's why I'm trying to give me some more EA gear, man. I love the fact that you guys think enough of me to share your brand with me. And then when I come to your school, I can represent your school with you.
Absolutely.
And in my community, which is, Gonzales, Louisiana, I love the fact that a lot of people here don't like me because I'm like you. I ain't kissing nobody's ass.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be tough on the kids because sometimes kids need tough love.
They do.
I've never, whether it was Barry Whittington, Tyler Turner, or Coach Lee, I've never told the coach how to coach my kid. If he screwed up and he need his butt chewed, chew his butt. And when you tell me, I'm going to chew his butt. Even Coach Jamie Simmons now, who my daughter plays volleyball for, you'll never hear me tell a kid, "Oh, you can't get on my child." Well, why the hell you gonna be the coach if you can't fuss at them?
Yeah.
If I want you to give them praise, I want you to fuss at them.
Yeah.
And if they do something that wrong, let me know, and I'm gonna fuss at them.
Yeah.
And you're no, I don't care how great the coach is. No coach can be tougher on my kids than I've already been on them, preparing them for the moment.
No doubt. Kids want tough love, and they want structure, and they want attention. And
Facts.
I tell them all the time. Sometimes the negative attention they have to get from us, they wanted it or they needed it at that time, so they did something to get that attention.
Right.
Some kids thrive off of the negative attention. Some of them thrive off the positive attention. But they all know, like, I'm going to be real with them. I'm going to be honest with them. And when they do wrong, they're going to know. And when they do right, they're going to know. I love these kids. I love on them every day because without them, we don't have what we do without them.
Well, I'm gonna say this, bro, and I'm gonna let you go because I even went over the 13 minutes. But understand this, parents. Understand this. A coach that did not care about your kid would not get up at 5 in the morning to pre-prep to prepare your kids. A coach that did not care about your kids, because your kids are the football program, your kids are the basketball team, your kids are the volleyball team, your kids are the fishing team now, your kids are the golf team. It's the LHSAA keeps adding new official sports.
Yeah.
It seems like every other year. Cheerleading is a sport. Your kids are the cheerleaders. And without them, these coaches can't do what they love doing. And they give of themselves so selflessly. And sometimes we just take that for granted because I'm a parent.
Yeah, and I'm gonna piggyback off of that. I wasn't worth a damn at this early in my career. Like I wasn't good with parents. I wasn't good with parents wanting to say the thing I said. I will fire back at a parent even today. I will. But I have learned, and there's nothing wrong with it. Parents have on parent goggles. They don't see
Right.
the big picture. They just see their baby in that little goggle right there. I get it. I'm a parent myself. I get it. So really, all I can do is promise to our parents that I'm going to treat them real.
Right.
I'm going to be honest and fair with them. Do I get edgy at times? Our kids need to learn.
Yeah.
They got to be tough to survive this world. And, again, that's why I'm here. Like, I'm an extension of them. I've learned to cope with the parent goggles. And really, I just don't give a shit at the end of the day because it is still but I want the best for their kid. They don't see the parent goggles don't see me
right
that way. They don't see the inside of this field house with their kid eating lunch with their kid. They don't see that. And I've had to learn that. So all I can do is continue to love these kids and give them respect and treat them fairly and right. We're always going to have problems because I still have problems this day, but I have gotten better at understanding the parent goggles and why a lot of them say what they say and feel the way they feel. But again, I mean, without them, without parents, without these kids, we wouldn't have what we have. So there's an appreciation.
Hey, I'm going to say this, and I know, the perception of me as a parent may not be the best one, and I don't really care about that. But I love Barry Whittington as a head coach for my son. Barry was tough, but Barry was smart, and he asked kids to be better. Tyler was tough. He was smart. He asked kids to be better. Darnell was tough. He was smart. He's smart, and he asked kids to be better. Jamie Simmons, who's my daughter's coach right now, she's tough. She knows volleyball. I don't got no issue with her going off on my daughter.
Yeah.
I love I've been fortunate enough that for my kids to have great coaches. And I don't, hell, I'm just a parent that loves his kids and needs his kids more than they need me. That's it. If I'm guilty of something, that's my guilt. I need them. And I want to see them successful. I want to see them win. And so when the season ends and those guys come out with their postseason awards, and my child is named first team all state, first team all metro, first team all district, defensive district MVP, parish MVP. Like, what parent isn't going to talk shit? If you aren't that parent that aren't, then you probably need to cheer for your child more. And
But
that's
you need to tell that parent, don't forget how that happened either.
right, the coach pushing them.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and look, and it's just real spill.
I don't want any credit, nor do I ask for the credit. I'm just, let's not forget some of the journey and the path got there because there were some people outside of mom and dad that helped get them there.
Right. Can I give you a shout outs today?
Absolutely.
Shout out to Brett Beard. Shout out to the Denham Springs administration. Again, administration don't get enough credit, man.
No,
and Denham administration is phenomenal. Coach Tyrus McGee, who was there, always expressed how much he loved the administration at Denham. He's expressing the same thing about Live Oak. And guess who else expressed the same thing about both administrations? Brett Beard.
Right.
Yeah. So shout out to the Denham community. I know a lot of people in the Denham community, being that, when I first moved here, I used to officiate basketball at North Park every summer for their basketball program. I love the Denham Livingston area. I love the Ascension Parish area. Great rivalry, great district, and I can't wait to see it happen. Man, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for taking time out. You guys know what it is. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game.